Hello friends, I am Kaushal Kishore from Central University of South Bihar, Gaya. Welcome to this session. In previous sessions, we have discussed about various tools of ICT that we use in assessment. In this session, we are going to demonstrate one of those tools that we use in assessment, and the name of that tool is Google Forms. So let's see how do we use Google Forms in assessment. Friends, to use Google Forms as a tool of assessment, we need a Gmail account with us. If you don't have a Gmail account, you can create a free of cost Gmail account on google.com. After having a Gmail account, we have to use this Chrome browser. I'm going to open it. You can see it on the screen. Now my browser is open, that is Google Chrome. In this, I am going to type google.com. I opened the website google.com. In this web page, you can see a Gmail link in the right upper corner here. I am clicking this link to open my Gmail account. Since I already have one Gmail account, I am going to sign in. This page, here I have to type my email ID, that is nrceducation@cusb.ac.in. This email ID is on Google platform. I click next. Then I have to type my password. So I entered my password here, and my inbox is going to load here. Now you can see my Gmail inbox has been loaded. In this page, you can see to the right upper corner, a grid type structure is given. When I bring my mouse here, it's showing Google Apps. I have to click here. I clicked, and so now you can see that account, Gmail, Drive, and so many other apps have been given. I clicked for more apps. Now you can see YouTube, Maps, News. In the right side, you see it's here blue color, Google Forms has been given. I'm clicking Google Forms. When I click this Google Form app, a new tab is opened. In this new tab, you can see many formats have been given: blank format, assessment, blank quiz, exit ticket, worksheet, course evaluation, etc. Since I'm going to use this Google form for assessment, I'm going to click this assessment. When I clicked assessment, it's going to open a new assessment Google form. It is in front of you now. In this page, you can see to the left corner, it's written assessment. This assessment I can rename here. So let me keep a name, say trial assessment. I kept the name trial assessment. Now coming to this, you can see that it is given a page here. On the top is given questions, responses, total points. These all are by default giving things. Here is written assessment. This assessment I can rename whatever kind of assessment I want to give. Say I'm going to give an assessment, ICT in assessment. This is my test name, which I'm going to give my students or my learners. This will be the title of the test. Here you can see some language, some text has been given. In this text, I can describe about this test. It is not mandatory that you write something here. Even writing or renaming the test is not mandatory, but it's always easy to name the test as per the need. In this description, let me write here that this test is created to demonstrate use of ICT in assessment. So whenever I will communicate about this test to the students, it will describe about the test to them. This line will appear in their mail ID, in their mail inbox. This test is created to demonstrate use of ICT in assessment. Here, now before moving ahead, let me be here again. On the right upper corner, you can see that settings have been given, option for settings have been given. I'm clicking settings. When I click settings, there are 3 settings have been given: journal, presentation, quizzes. For general settings, there is an option collect email addresses. If I want to collect email addresses of my students or learners who are going to participate in the test, then I have to check it. I checked it. Then response receipts. If I want to allow to my learners that they can receive their responses, then I have to again check it. Okay, let my learners receive their responses, a copy of response. For this again 2 options are there: if respondents requests it or always. It means if a respondent or a learner or a student want to get a copy of his response, then only he will get it. He has to check it. Otherwise, if I select always, then everybody will get it. So I said, okay, whosoever want to get it, only he or she will get it. So I selected if respondent requests it. Then for the require sign in. For this, restrict to users in Central University of South Bihar in trusted domain. For this, it means I can send the test to trusted domains only. If I want to make it more open, then I have to uncheck it. Okay, let me keep it for CUSB users only. Then limit to 1 response. For if I check it, by default it is checked. It means everybody can give only 1 response. If I uncheck it, then they can submit more than 1 response. So if I am conducting classroom assessment, as per my need, if I am going to check it, every student will be able to submit only 1 response. Then next option is given here: respondents can edit after submit and see summary charts and text responses. So if I want to allow them to edit after submission, then I have to check it. Otherwise, leave it blank. See summary charts and text responses. If I want to allow my students to see this, then again I have to check it. Otherwise, I have to leave it blank. So these settings of general page are completed. Now the presentation. For presentation, if I want to show progress bar, then I have to click it, check it. If I want to shuffle questions order, then I have to check it. If I want to keep my questions in the same order as I prepared them, then I should not check it. Then confirmation message. By default, it is showing your response has been recorded. Whenever a learner or a student submits his or her test, he or she will get this message. If I want to check and put a different message, I can do it here. Say, I said, thank you for submitting your response. So it will be appeared. This message will be appeared in front of them when they complete this test. Then now quizzes. First option is given, make this a quiz. If I want to make this a quiz, is a test, then I have to select it. Otherwise, I have to remove it. Since I am going to use it as a test, then I said make this a quiz. Then quiz options, release grade immediately after each submission. If I want allow the system to submit or release grades immediately after submission, then I have to check it. Otherwise, if I want to review manually and then provide grade to my students, then I have to select it. So I am keeping it immediately after each submission. Then respondents can see missed questions. If I want to allow them to see their missed question, then check it. Correct answers, then check it. Point values, how many marks they are getting for a particular question. For this, I have to check it. If I am satisfied with all these settings, then I have to save. Okay. So this is now showing this form is automatically collecting email addresses for Central University of South Bihar users. Again, it is giving an option for changing settings, which I am not going to exercise now. Now I am coming to the test creation. Here, this line is showing name. An asterisk mark shows that each respondent or student has to fill it compulsorily. Otherwise, the form will not be submitted. Here, a student has to write saying name, okay. I am satisfied with, they have to write name. In the right side, you see this option is given. What kind of response to this segment we want? against name, what kind of response we want? We want a short answer, we want a paragraph, we want a multiple choice, checkbox, drop down menu, and anything else. What does it mean? Say if I want to say in place of name, I want to put a category, student, teacher, staff, then I can write here, choose a category, and out of this drop down menu I can prepare those categories. But here my purpose is to ask name of the student, so I kept it name and short answer type. That's okay. Answer key no required. Here it is showing required, right side down here. If I make it mandatory part to attend for a student, then I have to select it, otherwise I can remove it. Since knowing name sometimes may be mandatory, sometimes may not be mandatory for a teacher, it depends on the situation. In this test I am making mandatory to write his or her name by the student. Then I went to this email section. It is not showing mandatory, but email, again short answer form, student has to write his or her email here. Then now the section comes quiz questions. For this quiz questions, here I can say items, questions only, or quiz questions, test questions. By default it is written quiz questions. I can leave it like this. Then description. In this description, again it's optional, but some kind of specific instructions if I want to give them, then I have to write them here. Say I'm writing all the questions are compulsory. Whatever instruction I want to give, I can give here. Then it is completed here. Now we will move to the questions. Here down you can see it's written here your first question. Here I have to type my first question. Before typing, let me show you one thing, that in the right side it's written multiple choice here by default. By default it is showing an option for multiple choice question. If I want to create multiple choice question, then I can keep it like this. If I want to change and keep some different type of question, then I have to change it. From this button I can select type of question. If I want to keep a short answer type question, then I have to select this. If I want to select or keep a paragraph type question, then I have to select it. If I want to do for multiple choice question, then I have to select this. If I want to create a question which uses checkboxes, then I have to select this. If I want to create a question which uses drop down menu, then I have to use this, and like that. So I'm keeping it multiple choice for me. First question. In a same test or same assessment, you can use variety of questions altogether. I am typing my first question here. Say for example, I am typing which of the following is the lowest level of measurement. So I completed this question. It's a multiple choice question. Now it is asking about the options. Look, it's giving option 1 correct answer, option 3, option 4. By default it is showing B as a correct answer. So now I have two options. Either I can keep my correct answer on the second choice, or I can change it. How? Let's see. Option 1 I am writing nominal. You know that this is the correct answer, nominal. I am keeping it on the choice 1. Now I am going to second option, that is ordinal. Third option interval. Fourth option ratio. Here in answer key I am going to select it. Which of the following is the lowest level of measurement? This option is for selecting the right answer. Here in the right side I can decide how many marks I want to award for this. If I want to keep it 2 mark question, then I will keep it 2 point here. I am keeping it 1 mark question, so I am keeping 1 point here. Here it's showing second, I am selecting nominal. So it's showing nominal correct answer, and I removed it ordinal. So now the answer nominal is showing correct. Here on the downside you can see feedback for incorrect answers. By default it is showing an explanation. The correct answer is right because XYZ. Here I can write, I can give a feedback or I can remove it. If I want to give a feedback to the student, then I should write some feedback here, or otherwise I should delete it. Then this question is complete. I collected edit question and now coming back, which of the following is the lowest level of measurement, and options nominal, ordinal, interval ratio. It is showing that nominal is the right answer. Now again you can see that it's showing required here. If I want to make the question to be attempted compulsorily by each and every learner, then I will select it required. If I give a choice to my students that they can skip a question, then I have to remove this button. If I keep this selected as required, then Google Form will not allow a student or a learner to submit his or her response without selecting any of the answers. So better, if I am going to conduct a classroom assessment, I should remove it. If a learner want to attempt the question, then he or she should, otherwise he or she may leave. But it depends again on the teacher and context. As I discussed with you earlier, that assessment is always context specific. I am keeping it required here. There are many more options are there. The description. If I want to add a description for the answer, I can edit here. If I want to allow the system to shuffle option order, then I should check it, otherwise I should remove it. I don't want the system to shuffle the option order because I am keeping them in a proper way. So I removed it, this option. I am not allowing system to shuffle option order. Now this question is completed. Now a second question. For second question, I have to type my second question here. So for second question, I am going to, by default it is coming checkbox. If I want to keep the checkbox type question, then I will keep it like this. Otherwise I may change it, as I told you earlier. I am keeping a question to use checkboxes. For example, which of the following is oblique are characteristic of a good tool, and I want to keep it checkboxes. So option 1, I said reliability. Option 2, by default it is showing correct answer. I can change it later on. Option 2 is kept validity. Option 3, I said usability. If I want to add more options, the options are given. If I don't want to use more options, then I can remove that. I want to use only 3 options, then I am removing this, and now I want to correct it, the answers. For this I clicked on this answer key, set marks, again 1 point. Since we know that all the 3 are the characteristics of a good tool, then I am selecting this, reliability also as a good right answer, then usability also as a right answer. So all the one who selects all the 3 options will be considered right answer. Again, feedback. If I want to give feedback, then I should give here. If I don't want to give feedback, then I have to remove it from here. Here I want to give a feedback. Feedback for incorrect answers. Incorrect answers we can add for both. For incorrect answers I am adding. By default it is showing that option 1 and 3 are wrong because XYZ. Since it's a sample, I am using here that all of the 3 are the characteristics of a good tool. So this is a kind of explanation. I saved it here. So it is here, all of the 3 are the characteristics of a good tool. So this question is complete. So it's done. Edit question I clicked. Now question is ready. Again, the required option, if I want to keep it mandatory, I'm again keeping it mandatory. Your third question, by default it is showing your third question. If I don't want to go to the next question, if I want to add a new question of previous type, then the right side there is a menu, it's the option plus button is showing, and when I go here it says add question. I can add a question with the help of this. By default it is adding a multiple choice question. If I want to add this kind of question, then okay, so other options are also here. If I don't want to use this question, I deleted this. Now the third question, by default it is showing the third question is a short answer text type question. So if I want to add such type of question, then I can use it. Otherwise, as I told you, you can use this plus sign and add a different type of question. So I'm using short answer question here. My third question I'm going to type here, and the question is define measurement. For this I'm going to accept short answer. This is a short answer text where a student have to write. Answer key, I can add points here. I'm adding again 1 point, and I want to add a correct answer here which student can see after completing their test and while seeing their result. So I wrote the correct answer here. It's not mandatory. If as a teacher I want to explain it here, I can add it here. Otherwise I can leave it blank here. I'm writing the answer here. So I wrote assigning numerals according to certain agreed rules is measurement. So I kept it here. If I don't want to allow the student to use some different language, then I have to select it, mark all other answers incorrect. Otherwise, if some other kind of definition they want to write, they can write the concept in other words, then I should not check it. It is showing that mark all other answers incorrect. It will depend on the situation. I am saying it, mark all other answers incorrect. If I want to add answer feedback, then I have to select it. Otherwise, the work is over here. I did question. I added this question here, define measurement. It is showing correct answer. It's a short answer type question. And again, I am keeping it mandatory. It's required to attempt. Then the by default fourth question is based on an unseen passage. So you can write text here, and then based on the text above, your fourth question can be here. If I want to add such kind of question, then it's okay. Otherwise, I can remove this question. And I'm not going to ask this question. I can put as many questions as I want to use in my assessment as a teacher. For this demonstration, I'm going to just simply keeping these 3 questions. Let me take a quick review here. The test folder name is trial assessment. It's showing all changes saved in Drive. It means all these details or these tests have been saved in Google Drive, which is associated with your Gmail account. The title of the test is ICT and Assessment. When the student will get this test through email, the message will be there. This test is created to demonstrate use of ICT in assessment. Then the student has to write his or her name, then his or her email ID, and there will be an instruction that all the questions are compulsory. These are the questions: which of the following is the lowest level of measurement, which of the following is our characteristic of a good tool, and define measurements. There are 3 questions. Now, when I am satisfied that I have added all the questions required for this assessment, before finally sending it to the students, I can preview the test. And to preview the test, there is an option given on the upper side on this web page, preview. When I click this preview option, a new tab is opened. In this tab, the form is appeared in the same manner as it will appear in front of the students. So now it is the preview copy. The title of the test is ICT in Assessment. About the test, it is written here. This test is created to demonstrate use of ICT in assessment. It is also showing that your email address, that is nrceducation@CUSB, will be recorded when you submit this form. So when a user will log in from user means student here. When the student will log in with the help of his or her email ID, then his or her email ID will be recorded here. Then these are the required portion. Let me try to attempt here. So I'm writing name here. I'm writing my name, Kaushal Kishore. I'm writing my email ID here. I'm writing my email ID. Then quiz questions. The instruction which we gave with the quiz questions is appearing here. That is, all the questions are compulsory. Now the first question, which of the following is the lowest level of measurement? It is for 1 point. I'm going to answer that. I selected nominal. Okay. Then second question, which of the following are characteristics of a good tool? I am deliberately selecting only 2 here. This is again for 1 point. Then the third question, define measurement. Again, it's a compulsory question. Then it is for 1 point, and I'm writing my answer here. Okay. Assigning numerals according to certain agreed rules is measurement. As a student, I can select an option whether I want to get the copy of this assessment, my response, or not. I am selecting it. Send me a copy of my response, and now I can submit it. If I am satisfied with my answers and all the details have been filled, then I can submit it here. I submitted ICT assessment, and the thank you message is here that we decided earlier in the settings. Thank you for submitting your response. As a student, now I can see my score, that we gave this freedom to the student. If I click this, then a new tab is open, and in this I got 2 points out of 3. Section score, this is all these things are there. This showing now quiz questions. Which of the following is the lowest level? The answer is correct. So I got 1 out of 1. Which of the following is a characteristic of good tool? It's showing 0 marks because I selected only 2. It is showing the correct answer and the feedback which we gave initially in the settings. Feedback, it is showing that all the 3 are the characteristic of a good tool. So as a learner, as a student, I can know that why my question is treated as wrong. Then the third question, it is green, that it means I have completed the question correctly. I got 1 out of 1 mark here, and thus I can complete it. Now coming back to this Google tool, Google Forms. Here, when I am satisfied with the preview copy, I close this preview options, and now I can send this test as a teacher to the students with the help of this send button. So I'm pressing the send button. It is showing automatically correct respondents. Send via, there are options, email or other links. I'm selecting email. If I select this, it's for Google Docs. Through Google Docs, it's showing. Want to send it to my students through email. So to whomsoever I want to send it, I will send it here. So I'm sending it to this ID. I can add multiple IDs here. This is the subject, ICT assessment. The message, I have invited you to fill out a form. I can type other message here. Fill out a form. This is your class test number 3, say. I can complete it. If I want to include it in email, then I should select it. Otherwise, I can send it. I'm sending it. It has been sent. Let me check whether a student has received it or not. So for this, I'm opening my NRC Education ICT Assessment, and when I found this, now I am opening that account of mine to which I have already sent the that quiz. It is showing the message, I have invited you to fill out a form. This is your class test number 3. Your students will get this message. ICT in assessment, this is the title. This test is created to demonstrate use of ICT in assessment, the message which we gave earlier. So now option fill out form. If I, as a student, I select this option, I get this test, and again I have to appear for this, and the same process as we saw in the process of preview, that will appear here. So friends, this way now you can create assessment or tests or quizzes with the help of this tool, that is an ICT tool which we use in assessment, that is Google Form. It is very easy, user friendly to use, and it's very easy to score and give feedback to the students. When I close this, you can see it here that in the drive it is saved here, trial assessment. Whenever in future I want to resend it, edit it, and use it in some other purpose, I can get the tool here. So I hope this tutorial will help you in using Google Forms as a tool to assess your students. Good luck. Thank you for your patient listening and watching. Thank you.